Friends, picture this. You walk into a bar and see a stunning lady. Your mind is already racing at this moment and you have already figured out the names of your future kids. But let's be real, the kids won't drop from the sky. If you want the story to begin, she has to choose you, right? So you build up the courage, go near her and ask her for a dance. At this moment, I want you guys to pause for a moment and think what happens next. If you guys have already figured it out, let me tell you. Around 90% of the time, the lady will politely say that she is not interested or something like she does not know how to dance or anything of that sort that seems like a rejection. And if you are Shah Rukh Khan and have a charisma like him, then for the rest of the 10%, you can take the girl out for a dance. Wondering what this story has to do with markets? Well, not just markets. In fact, every field. We all are aware that every field has winners and losers. Nature has got its own ways to separate them both. Now let me share you something interesting. A group of researchers carried out a research. They took two groups of people. The first group that were called winners. They were confident, popular and smooth. In short, they were having high social skills. On the other hand, we had losers who were hesitant, overthinking and often were rejected, of lower social skills. The catch is that both groups of people were equally good looking. So what made the difference? That is what puzzled the researchers. So in this experiment, they carried out a test. The similar one scenario that we imagined at the starting of this video. Remember that? Both winners and losers were to approach a lady who was programmed to reject them by saying something like she does not know to dance or something of that sort. When it was winner's turn and they heard this rejection, they were confident. They smiled, they replied, neither they knew how to dance, so let's just sit and talk. In short, they did not take this rejection as a rejection, but just a statement. Now coming to the other group, the losers. When they faced this same answer, can you guess how they reacted? They froze. They spoke something like, oh, okay, sorry, and then walked away. See, same situation, same reply, but different reaction. And that is what filters out winners from losers. Winners stay calm and confident. They do not panic at the first obstacle. Rather, they find a way to move around this obstacle. Now let's come back to the markets. Have you ever analyzed an equity and felt 100% confident about its next move? You entered the trade and boom, it just went opposite to your analysis. I'm sure you must have faced this situation. Seems familiar, like the lady rejecting the guys? Well, the market plays the same move. It filters out weak hands by rejecting their analysis. As in the previous case, the weaker traders, they panic by seeing red color in their portfolio. They doubt their own analysis and come out of the trade. On the other hand, the winners, when facing the same situation, they look back at their analysis, re-examine them, and if they are confident about it, they stick in the trade, even when their portfolio is red. And only after that comes the original move, which the winners ride smoothly. So remember this, next time market rejects your analysis, don't take it just as a reaction. Figure it out if your analysis was correct or there is some fault in it. If it's correct, stick into the trade, because not all rejections are rejections, some are just testing your confidence. A bonus tip, don't stick to losing trades every time. First, re-examine your analysis. On re-examining, find out what the possible stop loss might be, the farthest stop loss that will invalidate your analysis. Put that stop loss and ride that trend blindly. Wishing you guys a happy trade.